All right, get ready because today we're going deep on the Seleucid Empire.
Ooh, interesting.
One of the most fascinating but kind of forgotten parts of the Hellenistic world.
Yeah, they don't always get the attention they deserve.
We're talking an empire that stretched, from the Aegean Sea
All the way
all the way to modern-day Pakistan.
incredible.
It's a mind-boggling mix of cultures and power struggles and all that good stuff.
Right, like a real clash of civilizations.
And to help us navigate this, we've got some excerpts from the Wikipedia article on the Seleucid Empire.
Okay, excellent source.
I'm excited to dive in. Okay, here's a little something to pique your interest, get you hooked.
Okay, I'm listening.
Did you know that the Seleucids once gave away a Princess Andy 500 war elephants as part of a peace treaty?
Oh, yeah, now that's a story I want to hear more about.
Right. It's like, how do you even negotiate that?
Makes you wonder what the backstory was there.
Seriously, we've got to unpack that.
Absolutely, but to understand that, we kind of have to go back to the beginning.
Okay, take us back.
To the chaos after Alexander the Great died in 323 BC.
Ah, yes. The good old succession crisis.
Exactly. It's not like he left a clear will, neatly dividing everything.
To Ptolemy, you get Egypt, to Antigonus, Greece.
Yeah, like a game of Risk or something.
Right. Instead, you've got all these generals, the Diadochi.
Vying for power, battling it out for decades.
It must have been a wild time.
Oh, yeah, constant warfare, shifting alliances, total free-for-all.
And out of all that emerges, Seleucus I,
The founder of the Seleucid Empire, Nicator, the victor.
that name says it all, doesn't it?
It does. This wasn't a guy who just sat back and waited for things to happen.
He fought his way to the top.
He battled the other Diadochi slowly, expanding his territory, securing his power base.
And that power base was?
Babylon. He captured it in 312 BC, which is generally considered the official start of the Seleucid Empire.
The empire's born. But, and here's where it gets interesting, he doesn't just stop there, does he?
No, his ambition doesn't end with Babylon.
Which brings us back to those 500 war elephants. This wasn't just some random act of generosity, right?
No, not at all. This was strategic, a calculated move.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
This was the outcome of the Seleucid-Mauryan War.
The what now?
The Seleucid-Mauryan War. It lasted from 305 to 303 BC.
Okay, so who are the Mauryans?
Well, they were a powerful empire in India, led by Chandragupta Maurya.
Another big player on the scene.
Oh, yeah, and their army was a force to be reckoned with, especially those war elephants.
Okay, I can imagine.
Imagine facing an army with hundreds of war elephants.
Yeah, how do you even counter that?
Pretty much impossible back then.
So what did Seleucus do?
He chose negotiation, he saw the writing on the wall, realized this wasn't a battle he could easily win.
Smart move.
And that's how we get this incredible peace treaty,
Mm-hmm.
land for elephants and a marriage alliance.
Whoa, a Princess Andy 500 elephants. That's got to be the most unique dowry in history.
It's definitely up there. But I mean, these weren't just for show, right? These elephants were serious military assets.
Okay, so how did Seleucus use them? What role did they play in his empire?
They became a key part of the Seleucid military, helping him secure victories against his rivals. They were like ancient tanks, just unstoppable.
I bet they turned the tide in a few battles.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like at the Battle of Ipsus in 301 BC. Antigonus, another one of the Diadochi.
And this was a decisive battle.
It was. It really solidified Seleucus's control over a vast chunk of territory.
So we've got this, warrior king consolidating his power, building his empire. But here's what really fascinates me.
What's that?
You've got this dynasty founded by Greeks.
Right, with their culture, their ideas.
Ruling over this incredibly diverse population stretching from modern-day Turkey to Afghanistan.
It's a huge melting pot of cultures.
How do you even begin to manage that? How do you impose your way of life on such a vast and different group of people?
Well, it was a constant challenge for sure, but the Seleucids had a strategy, a policy they called Hellenization.
Oh yeah, the spread of Greek culture, right?
Exactly. They aimed to spread Greek ideas and customs throughout their empire, founding new cities modeled on Greek city-states, encouraging immigration from Greece, promoting the Greek language.
So they were trying to, create a mini-Greece across their empire.
In a way, yes, but it was a lot more complicated than that. I
Oh,
bet
yeah.
it wasn't just about erasing existing cultures. It was more about creating these centers of Greek influence, hubs of cultural exchange.
Interesting. So not just a straight takeover.
Right, and it's important to remember the Seleucids did it differently than, say, the Ptolemies in Egypt.
Oh, yeah. Good
The
point.
Ptolemies kind of blended in more with Egyptian culture, adopted some of their customs.
Right. They even took on Egyptian titles, presented themselves as pharaohs.
Exactly. But the Seleucids, they remained a distinct ruling class, relying heavily on Greeks for their administration, their military.
So less integration, more like, we're the Greeks, you're not.
In essence, yes, and you can imagine that created some tension, some resentment.
Oh, for sure. Ruling an empire that size, with all its different peoples, it's a constant balancing act.
Absolutely, a delicate dance of power, and that's where the challenges really start to emerge for the Seleucids.
Oh, I bet there were challenges galore. You can't just hold on to an empire that vast without hitting a few bumps in the road.
And trust me, those bumps get pretty big, pretty fast.
Okay, I'm ready for the next part of this story, but I guess we'll save that for our next deep dive.
Sounds good. Let's pick it up there.
We'll uncover the challenges, the rivals, the internal struggles that start to chip away at this mighty empire.
And maybe even get back to those war elephants.
Can't wait.
Till
Till then, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll see you next time for more deep dives into history.
See you then. Welcome back. We were talking about Hellenization before the break.
Right, that whole idea of spreading Greek culture and influence.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about, like, forcing people to abandon their traditions.
No, it's way more complicated than that.
It was much more about creating these centers of Greek life within the empire, these new cities, modeled after the Greek city-states.
Ah, so kind of like little pockets of intense Greekness spread out over a huge area.
Exactly. They encouraged Greeks to settle there,
Right, immigration.
and trade between those cities and existing ones, that sort of thing.
So kind of weaving Greek culture into the fabric of the existing society.
Yeah, rather than just coming in and saying, okay, everybody's Greek now.
Right, because that never really works, does it?
No, people hold on to their
And
tradition.
it's back.
Exactly. And, what we actually see with the Seleucids is this really fascinating fusion of Greek and Eastern traditions.
Oh, that's cool.
Like they're building these grand Greek temples, but with elements of Mesopotamian or Persian design.
Really? So it's like a hybrid style.
Yeah, like a cultural blend.
Wow, that's so interesting. Are there any good examples of this, like specific buildings or anything?
Well, yeah, actually, even some statues of Greek gods show influences from local deities. It's like they're visually representing this mixing of cultures.
That's amazing. So it wasn't just about architecture either, right? This blending of ideas.
No, it was everywhere. Religious practices, philosophy, daily life.
It makes you wonder, like, was Greek culture so adaptable?
It was surprisingly adaptable.
Or were the people in these areas just really good at incorporating new ideas into their existing traditions?
Well, I think it's a bit of both.
Yeah, probably a two-way street.
And this cultural fusion wasn't unique to the Seleucids. It was happening all over the Hellenistic world.
Right, this is the legacy of Alexander the Great, right? This interconnected world.
Exactly, where cultures clash and blend in fascinating ways.
So we've got this flourishing of culture and ideas.
A real melting pot.
But I imagine there were also, like, challenges to ruling an empire this big and diverse.
Oh, absolutely. Holding on to all of that was no walk in the park.
What were some of the biggest hurdles they faced?
Well, for starters, starting in the 3rd century BC, the empire starts to fragment.
Oh no, what happened?
Provinces declaring independence, ambitious rivals popping up, external pressure mounting.
So it was like a combination of internal and external forces working against them.
Exactly. A perfect storm.
So what were some of the specific rebellions or rivals they had to deal with?
Well, the eastern provinces were especially problematic. Bactria, Parthia.
Those are familiar names.
They were constantly pushing for independence.
And were there any particular groups or leaders who gave the Seleucids a run for their money?
Oh, yeah, the Parthians, for one.
The Parthians. Those were the nomadic warriors, right?
The very same, known for their incredible cavalry and archery skills.
Right, like really tough opponents.
They were initially a small force, but they took advantage of the Seleucids' weakness and gradually took more and more of their eastern territory.
So they were kind of chipping away at the edges of the empire.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that the Parthians didn't just conquer.
What do you mean?
They adapted, they integrated elements of the Seleucid administration, even kept minting coins with Greek inscriptions.
Wow, so they were like learning from the Seleucids in a way, using their own systems against them.
In a sense, yeah, they saw what worked and what didn't.
That's pretty clever, and it makes them a lot more than just like barbarians at the gates.
Oh, absolutely. They were sophisticated, they were strategic.
So we've got internal rebellions, we've got the Parthians on the rise.
A lot to handle.
But there's one more player in this saga, right?
Oh, yeah, we can't forget about them.
The Romans.
always lurking in the background.
They had to get involved at some point, right?
No, they did, and it didn't go well for the Seleucids.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, there was this Seleucid king, Antiochus III the Great, a real ambitious guy.
Trying to make the empire great again, huh?
You could say that he wanted to expand Seleucid influence into Greece.
Which probably didn't sit well with the Romans.
Not at all. They saw that as a direct threat to their interests.
And this led to...
The Roman-Seleucid War, it lasted from 192 to 188 BC.
Oh, wow. So a full-blown war between these two massive powers.
It was a clash of titans and ultimately a decisive Roman victory.
What was the key battle?
The Battle of Magnesia in 190 BC, the Romans, with their superior tactics and discipline, they crushed the Seleucid forces.
I can imagine that must have been a humiliating defeat.
It was a turning point. It really marked the beginning of the end for the Seleucid Empire.
And what happened after the Romans won?
Well, they imposed harsh terms on the Seleucids, a heavy indemnity. They had to withdraw from Asia Minor
Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
and abandon their dreams of westward expansion. It was a crippling blow. They never really recovered.
So they're pushed back to their core territories in Syria, weakened, demoralized.
Exactly. And from there, it's a downward spiral, internal strife, more losses to the Parthians, even a revolt in Judea.
Sounds like they were fighting fires on all sides.
They were, and they just couldn't hold it together.
And ultimately, it's another Roman general who delivers the final blow, right?
Yeah, Pompey the Great, in 63 BC, he just abolishes the Seleucid kingdom.
Just like that. Centuries of history wiped off the map.
Well, not quite wiped off the map. Their legacy lived on in the ruins of their cities, in the cultural tapestry of the region.
That's true. Their influence didn't just disappear overnight.
No, their impact was lasting, even if the empire itself was gone.
It's fascinating to think about how these less famous empires, like the Seleucids, played such a crucial role in shaping the ancient world.
They're essential to understanding the big picture, the flow of history.
So from war elephants to cultural fusion to Roman conquest, it's been an incredible journey through the Seleucid Empire.
It has, and it's a reminder that there's always more to discover, more stories to uncover.
Now, speaking of stories, I think it's time we delve into the Seleucid military.
Oh, good idea. We've mentioned the war elephants, but there's so much more to explore there.
Their armies were a fascinating mix of truce and tactics.
Right, they had to be adaptable to rule such a diverse empire.
Let's talk about their military innovations, their strategies, their famous phalanx formations.
Okay, let's march right into that.
Okay, so the Seleucid military, we've touched on those war elephants, but I'm guessing there was more to it than just like sheer size and intimidation.
Whoa, way more. Remember, they're coming from a long line of military innovation, from Alexander the Great and the Macedonians.
Right, a serious military pedigree.
So their armies were well organized, diverse, and adaptable.
Adaptable, that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Given the size and the variety of their empire.
They had to be ready for anything, any kind of enemy, any terrain.
So what was at the core of their military power? Like, what was their bread and butter?
The phalanx, like Alexander's armies before them.
Ah, the phalanx, right? That massive formation of infantry.
Yeah, those tightly packed rows of soldiers armed with those long spears, the sarissas, their shields locked together.
It must have been an incredible sight to see.
Oh, absolutely. A wall of bronze and flesh just advancing on the enemy. Pretty much unstoppable.
I bet it was terrifying to face them.
Oh, yeah. And the Seleucids, they incorporated troops from all over their empire into the system.
So it wasn't just a Greek army.
No, it was incredibly diverse. They had light infantry from Persia, those skilled archers from Syria.
Right? Using the strengths of all their different subjects.
Exactly. They had heavy cavalry from Bactria, even camel riders from Arabia.
Wow, that's a real mix of fighting styles.
It was, and that was one of their strengths, this ability to draw on such a wide range of military traditions.
But how did they keep such a diverse army, like cohesive?
Well, that was the challenge, wasn't it? The key was their officer corps, mostly Greeks, and a system of military settlements.
Ah, so they used Greek leadership to maintain some consistency.
Right, and those settlements, those were Greek-style colonies spread throughout the empire.
Oh, right, like little garrisons to project their power?
Exactly, they'd offer land to Greek soldiers who settled there, a way to encourage loyalty,
And spread Hellenism at the same time.
It was a smart strategy, but let's get back to those war elephants.
Oh, yeah, gotta love those elephants.
They were more than just a spectacle. They were really effective in battle.
Okay, but how effective? Like, really?
Oh, yeah. They could just smash through enemy lines, trample soldiers, create chaos.
I bet they had a huge psychological impact, too.
Absolutely. Imagine seeing one of those things charging at you.
Not to mention the Seleucids had hundreds of them.
Yeah, they were a game changer, especially against armies that had never encountered them before.
If they were so powerful, why did the Seleucids ultimately fall? Was it all just internal problems and Roman pressure, or did their military, have any major weaknesses?
Well, they were facing challenges on multiple fronts, that's true, but they definitely had some key defeats that contributed to their decline.
Like what?
Well, Magnesia against the Romans in 190 BC, that was a big one.
Right, that was a crushing defeat for Antiochus III.
It really exposed some of their vulnerabilities.
So what made the Roman legions so tough?
I mean, the Romans were just masters of discipline, organization, and tactics.
They were known for that, weren't they?
They were adaptable, relentless, and by this point, their legions were professional soldiers, well-trained, well-equipped.
So it wasn't just about brute force.
No, it was about strategy, about training, about being able to adapt to different situations.
And the Romans were also, really good at logistics, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, they could sustain their campaigns over huge distances, and they were masters of siege warfare.
That's a tough combination to beat.
It was, and the Seleucids, despite their strengths, they couldn't quite match that level of military efficiency.
And Magnesia really highlighted that, didn't it?
It did. It paved the way for further losses and ultimately contributed to their collapse.
It's a good reminder that even the mightiest empires can fall.
Absolutely. Nothing lasts forever.
But even in defeat, the Seleucids left their mark, right? Their military innovations, that diverse army, the use of war elephants, it all had an influence on later empires.
Oh, for sure. The Parthians, the Sasanian Persians, they all drew inspiration from the Seleucid military machine.
It's fascinating how those echoes of power continue to reverberate through history.
It is, and I think that's what's so cool about exploring these, less famous empires like the Seleucids.
They might not get the same attention as Alexander or the Romans, but they were a force to be reckoned with. They left their own mark on the ancient world.
Absolutely. They were empire builders, cultural innovators, military strategists.
For centuries, they held together this vast, diverse empire, one of the biggest in the Hellenistic world.
A real testament to their power and adaptability.
It's been an incredible journey, exploring the rise and fall of the Seleucid Empire, from their origins in the chaos after Alexander's death.
To their final days facing the Roman onslaught.
We've uncovered some amazing facts, delved into their culture, their military might, their challenges, and their triumphs.
And I hope it sparked a curiosity in our listeners to learn even more.
To keep exploring, to keep asking questions, because there's always more to discover, more layers to unravel.
That's the beauty of history, isn't it?
It is. And we'll be back soon with more deep dives into the past. So until then, keep learning, keep digging, and we'll see you next time.